Yeah. Yeah.
6 seconds to go. Mordecai going to step up. One last play. Throw to the end zone. Into the end zone. Knocked around and caught. It is caught.
Second and goal. Fake the pitch. Oh, what a ball play. Mordecai down at the bottom. Touchdown SMU.
Welcome back, everybody, to the AnythingOU Podcast and the Christian Drew Show. We have a really special guest for you guys today, Tanner Mordecai, former backup quarterback at the University of Oklahoma, current quarterback of the SMU Mustangs. I'm your host, Christian Williams. We break down a bunch of different questions for Tanner, kind of ask him about a lot of different stuff, SMU, OU related. I got my main man, Drew England. Drew, what's up?
Oh, you know what? Like I always say, it's a great day to be a Sooner. And we got the starting quarterback, y'all, at SMU. Can't wait to get into this interview.
For sure. This video is brought to you, sponsored by Horns Down Shop and Horns Down OU. Go follow them on Twitter. Go check out their website. Link in the description. And a pop-up will be up throughout the video. Throw up some shirts and stuff. And sooner or later, you'll be able to support us. So we appreciate you guys for everything. We love you guys. We appreciate all the support. And let's get in the video. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have our main man, Tanner Mordecai, former Oklahoma quarterback at the University of Oklahoma, current quarterback, starting quarterback for SMU football. Tanner, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, for sure. Thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate it. So I'm going to jump right into questions real quick. What was your favorite memory at your time at OU on and even off the field?
Favorite memory is definitely just the friendships I made there. I still keep up with a handful of guys, and I would still say they're my best friends. So definitely the relationships I was able to build at OU is something I'll always be able to take from there.
For sure. Yeah, it's kind of cool to see that, like, you can do something else, you know, do what's best for you and still keep those relationships, kind of like nobody holds a grudge or anything. So
right. That's
good to hear.
Yeah. So here's a fun question for you. You had an amazing Hail Mary against La Tech and against one of your former teammates, Sooner Austin Kendall. Kind of talk about that, and then what your reaction was, and did you talk to him after that game?
Yeah, so when I talked about my handful of friends I still have from OU, Austin's one of the main ones. We're still really good friends, keep up with each other almost every day. So it was cool to see him whenever we were at La Tech and play against him. He had a really good year there. And like you said, it was crazy. It was kind of back and forth game until that last drive. We had 36 seconds, I think, and went down and scored. And it was pretty much chaos after we scored, and everyone was going crazy. And it's still kind of hard to believe, but that was definitely one of my favorite sports memories.
I remember when I was watching that on here at home, I saw it, and it was one of those things, like, I don't want to make it seem like you threw the ball. It was like, it was good, but like as it was soaring through the air and the camera panned to the end zone, it was like, oh, no way. Like, this might actually happen. And it happened. And I went crazy. My parents were like, what are you going so crazy about? Like, you don't care about either one of these teams. It's like, no, like, he went to Midway. Like, that was one of the greatest passes I've seen all year long. And so it was really funny. But
it was a lot similar to I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan, so last year or 2 years ago against Buffalo, Kyler threw that one. I'm like, all right, we're gonna freaking lose the Bills, whatever. And then he dances around and then just heaves it, and then I'm like, oh wow. So Hail Marys are always like my favorite play, because you think that, all right, the game's over, and then all of a sudden, bam, pandemonium. So yeah, that was awesome.
It's pretty insane.
Hey, but another crazy play you had last season, the bootleg, man. You faked. I'll throw the clip in the video, but you faked out all 11 defenders. They went to the right, you ran off to the left. Touchdown against Tulane. And we played Tulane this past season. We didn't really play that well of a game. And so you had that play. What was it like when they turned around and you were just standing in the end zone?
Yeah, so we kind of looked at those guys and how they played goal line situations. They pretty much commit their entire defense to the run and didn't pay much attention to the quarterback. And there's a lot of examples throughout the year that the quarterback could have done what I did and we kind of just set it up to where if we got in that situation, I was going to pull it no matter what, and kind of bank on the fact that they were going to, play to their tendency that they had all year. So whenever we got in the goal line and got that situation, I knew I was pulling it, and yeah, I was pretty excited.
Do you get like, I don't even know how, like, do you get excited, or you're just like, I can't believe I just did that? Like, do any of those emotions and thoughts run into your head after you accomplish something like that crazy play?
I mean, it just kind of goes back to trusting it and trusting what our coaches put out in front of us, and trusting what they want us to do. And yeah, whenever you look at how they defended the run on the goal line, they had endless examples, I knew we had a good chance of pulling it and no one being there for me. So yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy. There's no doubt, but it was something that we had already watched and kind of planned for.
So to kind of tag off of that a little bit, as a quarterback, when you call a certain play or a play comes in and all right, this one's about to hit. Does that ever go through your head? Like, hey, we've studied, we prepped for this. And if you have another play in mind, take us through maybe something like that for people that don't get to see that when you just know that, hey, this play is going to go,
Yeah, that's that play against Tulane when I pulled it is exactly what you're talking about. I knew when we got down there and had that situation, it would happen. Just a lot of examples. We had some plays that were kind of schemed up to certain teams who played a certain defense, and whenever they showed it and we got the right call in, I knew they were going to go to it. It's kind of the same deal as, yeah, this is about to hit. This is going to be a big play. So yeah, it definitely gets me really excited, and it's pretty cool when stuff works how we want it to.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, talking about quarterbacks, and you're a very experienced quarterback, but your time at OU, what did you learn from guys like in that quarterback room, like, Kyler Murray, Spencer Rattler, those type of guys? What was a day like in that quarterback room with some of those guys?
Yeah, so my freshman year, it was me, Kyler, and AK. I mean, Kyler goes about his things differently than AK, and just kind of try to learn from the two. But Kyler was really special in the way he competed and how he played the game. So yeah, it was definitely something I could watch and learn from that whole year.
No, for sure. And Tanner, I know you're a very good athlete, so I feel like you had to have played some other sports. And that leads me into my next question. What are some of your hobbies outside of football?
Well, going back to sports, baseball is how I met Gage. So that's how we became friends and met, was playing baseball whenever we were like 13 or 14, 15, something like that. And then I played baseball in high school, but yeah, I like to golf now. That's kind of my hobby outside of football, is pretty much golfing. And then I enjoy hunting and fishing. That's also something that me and Gage we're kind of glued close to, is hunting and fishing together a lot. And yeah, but I stick to golf mainly right now.
Good,
that's exactly what I do. So a little bit about me. My background is I'm in sales now and doing stuff, but before I was the last 3 or 4 years I was a assistant club pro at a couple courses and stuff like that. So I definitely enjoy the game of golf, and trying to get Christian out one of these days to put some money on something and see what's going on. But yeah, golf is. And then I played baseball growing up too, so it kind of goes hand in hand with baseball and golf for some reason. Pitchers and different stuff like that. So it's always fun to get on the golf course. So
yeah, I really enjoy it.
Real quick to anybody watching, Gage Pearson, one of my good friends, one of my best friends actually. It was the first video we ever had in the podcast. He was able to kind of help this all kind of happen of how we got Tanner on here, and I'll put his video that we did with him in the description if you guys want to go check it out. But great guy, dude. He's also a quarterback. So if you want somebody that knows a little bit about high school football, not necessarily a quarterback at SMU, you can go watch that video, because we kind of broke it down as to like what it's like going to Jerry World and stuff like that. So it was a fun one for sure. We'll have to have him back on. So it was a good one.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's the man.
So, everybody knows you're at SMU now, starting quarterback. You had a great season last year. What ultimately led you to transfer to SMU from Oklahoma?
I knew that the year Spencer started, that was pretty much whenever I was going to leave. Just go chase my dream somewhere else that's going to give me a better opportunity. And that's pretty much what it comes down to.
Do you keep up with any of the other guys as far as like in the quarterback room
At OU?
Yeah.
I still talk to Tanner Schaefer and Austin Kendall. I talk to them all the time. Keep up with Kyler a little bit, not as much as the other two, but yeah, we stay in touch.
That's awesome, man. And do you still learn from Kyler as far as when, because he is in the NFL and he's doing very successful? Do y'all ever talk about like, hey, like I've been doing this, it's been working, and you kind of piggyback off of it? Or does that doesn't really come up?
No, that doesn't come up a whole lot, but I do watch him during the fall. He's a really special player. He does a lot of things really well. And yeah, it's definitely things I can learn from by watching him.
Yeah. So speaking of SMU, you broke your school record in the very first game with 7 touchdowns against Abilene Christian. What was your mindset before the game and also after? And does that sink in during the game?
Going into the game, I knew we were quite a bit better talent-wise. I just wanted to come out and start fast and do things really soundly and execute on a high level. But it kind of just happened that every time we were in the red zone, a pass scored. So it wasn't really a planned thing for that to happen. But I think once I tied the school record, I'm pretty sure Dykes was just like, might as well just go break it. And so went and broke it.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. And then as far as like my mindset after, it didn't really change. I knew I was capable of doing things like that, but the mindset of playing and competing at a high level and winning, that didn't really ever change.
Yeah. So you
had,
talked about. Go ahead.
You had as far as your accomplishments across the board, y'all beat TCU, you broke your school record. You had, I want to say 3,700 passing yards, somewhere in that ballpark, and plenty of touchdowns, stuff like that. And your initial recruitment, one of the very first offers that you gained was SMU and an assortment of a bunch of other schools in Texas, your home state. Did that have anything to do with you choosing to go to SMU as far as like, oh, they are my first offer, I want to go there? It was just, that was the best place for you.
The whole first offer thing, it didn't really matter. It was kind of cool that it came, full circle. But whenever you're choosing school, it's a lot about who's there. Chad Morris was the one who offered me back whenever I was in high school as my first offer. So that didn't play out as much, but just the situation at SMU is what led me to come here. Yeah.
What are you most excited about? I know you guys are in spring ball and stuff like that. Spring games coming up here pretty soon. What are you most excited about leading into this next year for you and the Mustangs?
I think we have a really good opportunity to be really good offensively again. But most excited for is to compete for a championship. That's what everyone's working for, and that's what everyone wants around SMU. It hadn't been done in 30-something years or something like that. So, yeah, it's something that everyone's hungry for and everyone is really striving for.
Well, and I feel like, not to toot your horn that much, but I feel like SMU has been a quarterback away for a really long time. And obviously there's a bunch of positions in football that matters, but they've been pretty good everywhere else, but they've just been like, we need that guy, that guy who can complete passes like you did and prove so well that you are capable of doing. So I've had y'all very highly touted on my list of chasing big things. I was curious to see what would happen last year, but after last year, man, y'all are going to be one of those teams, as I like to say, that's going to be scary in a good way. So yeah, I'm excited.
Appreciate it. We're really excited for this season and hungry to do well. So
Yeah.
I bet.
Speaking of those championships in the past and stuff like that, do you ever does any of those legends like Eric Dickerson, Craig James, any of those guys ever come around? You had a chance to meet some of those guys?
I haven't. I've met a few that were on the team. Dickerson's came to a few games last year. He wasn't like in the locker room or anything afterwards, but yeah, I haven't met any of the big names that were part of the Pony Express. So I haven't, but hopefully we can do something that they did.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited. Last year, I mean, I found myself in a lot of times, flipping on y'all's games, and I'm like, man, they're kind of like my second team,
Yeah.
and wishing that Cincinnati would go down. I know you guys were pretty close there, and things like that. But yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys are going to do this year, and I have no doubt that you guys will put a good product out on the field this year. So.
Well, and another thing is that for a dumb reason, I've always been really fond of the SMU Mustangs because I love the vehicle, a Mustang. And so I've always really liked, the Mustang. I love the helmets. The jerseys are sick. So I'm really glad that you went there, because if you would have went to like another school that like OU fans don't like as far as in the state of Texas, I would have had some other questions. But
Yeah.
that leads me to another thing that I want to ask you, man. You've been very accomplished throughout high school in Texas and your career in college football so far. What would you say your favorite accomplishment has been so far? One that you kind of look back on and you're like, man, that meant something to me.
Probably being voted captain last year. It just kind of spoke to me how well respected I was by guys that I hadn't even known for a full year. And to be voted captain by them really meant a lot to me. And yeah, that's definitely something I'll hold dear for a long time.
Yeah, that's a big honor for sure. That's cool. So I know you got one last season here at SMU. What are the plans moving forward after? I know you guys don't want to think too far in the future. You want to get ready for this season and the excitement coming there. But when it's all said and done, as far as at SMU, what are your plans and what are your goals after you leave SMU?
To play in the NFL is the main dream and goal. And that's pretty much it. Like you said, I'm focused on trying to win a championship this fall and putting all my time and effort into that. But yeah, that's the main end goal.
For sure. And as far as where do you obviously championship, what if you over exceed your expectations, what do you think that could bring you guys personally as far as like awards, like Heisman, stuff like that? Me personally, I think the team is very capable of it, but I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
On the team or like personally?
Yeah, as far as like, just awards across the board, as far as, Heisman's, Belikoff, just a bunch of different awards. What do you think could ultimately be this team's limit?
I think it could, winning a championship and stuff could definitely bring notoriety to guys that have been really successful at their respective positions, and kind of let those guys be seen a little bit more and have a little more respect on the SMU brand, and where those guys come from can be a little bit more respected than it has been in the past. So yeah. I think that could definitely
yeah, and I think that you brought up a good point, because I think a lot of times, we look at the big schools, the Power Fives, all that stuff, and the college football playoff and everything like that. And Cincinnati kind of broke through a little bit last year, but last year I think you guys gained a lot of respect in that arena as far as, hey, we're competitive, we can go out and chase championships. And I think that for me personally is what I'm most excited about. Is obviously I love OU and we do anything OU and stuff like that, but I always am excited to see quote the little guy come up and hit big brother on the nose. And so this year, man, I hope you guys go out and have an undefeated season, win a championship, and who knows, maybe try to sneak in that college football playoff.
Yeah, thank you. I hope we do too, man.
Hey, kind of a quick fun question here before we end it off. What's your favorite food?
Favorite food. Definitely has to be seafood. Probably I had some scamp grouper a couple years back that was pretty unreal. So
Are you a Chewy's guy at all?
I like Chews.
Yeah.
It's solid.
Chewy's is amazing. We don't have it. I live in Albuquerque right now. Moved out here after high school, and we don't have Chewy's. We just have authentic Mexican food, and I miss Tex-Mex. So
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good Tex-Mex here. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, Tanner, we appreciate your time and we appreciate you for coming on. If you ever want to come back on, maybe you and Gage come on here and talk about whatever y'all want to talk about, man. We'd be more than happy to have you.
Yeah. Well, appreciate it. Thank y'all for doing it.
Yeah. Yes, thanks, sir. Tanner.
Yeah. Hey, and best of luck on this upcoming season. I know Student Nation's going to be rooting for you.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sir. That's been everything for the AnythingOU Podcast of the Chris and Drew Show. We do appreciate you for stopping by and hope you guys enjoyed that interview with Tanner Mordecai. Really cool to get a starting quarterback's perspective on everything going on in the play, in the huddle, outside of football, stuff like that. So that's all I got to say. Again, I am your host, Kristen Williams. Drew, you got anything you want to leave the people with, man?
Hey, as always, thanks so much for your support, for your likes, your follows, your subscribes, everything like that. If you haven't yet, head on over to that YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, bell for notifications. We got videos coming out every week. Then that Sooner summary as well. Also head on over to hornsdownshop.com, grab some merch, help our boy Deshaun White out. Hey, spring game's getting a little closer.
Yes, sir. Hey, we got a lot of stuff going on. We do appreciate you guys. Again, I just want to say again, thank you for all the love and support. We did not think it would get this far this quick. So we love you guys. Drew, man, hit us with it.
Boomer.
Sooner.